Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Mismanagers podcast, where we talk Alabama and Auburn and SEC football every week. My name is Nick Norris. I'm a sports writer for a few websites and publications, and with me, as always, are my great friends, Auburn fan Justin Knight.
Hello, everybody.
And Alabama fan Herren Patterson.
Hello.
Guys, we have a large, chunky episode this week. There was so much news that it's unbearable. There's some weeks we don't even have news up top. This week it's like all news.
Woo!
Yeah, but we're also going to talk about the national championship game, preview that, give our thoughts and predictions, and they always age very well. And yes, but let's go ahead and hop into the news. First off, I want to say Auburn basketball 15-0 after the 82-60 win over Georgia.
That's right, baby.
Justin, how long do you think they can keep sustaining this?
They either lose to Alabama or Florida next week.
We'll see. They shouldn't lose to Alabama, but
Alabama's played Kentucky and Florida pretty tough in their losses, so you never know.
Yeah, it's always difficult to gauge a rivalry game. Also,
yeah.
The next big piece of news, it's kind of old news at this point, but Tua Tagovailoa, he will be leaving Alabama. He is declared for the NFL draft. Aaron, do you think this was a good decision for him?
Yeah, probably, considering he'll probably make $30 million if he goes anywhere close to where they're projecting him.
Yeah, I think it was the right decision. I don't know that he wanted to. It seemed like he maybe wanted to stay and maybe win one more. He just the way that it took him so long to come to his decision, but I think it was the right decision. I think it was 100% the right decision. Would you agree with that, Justin?
I would, but I think I find it funny that a lot of these Alabama fans are putting him on a shrine when really the national championship he won was credited to Jalen Hurts. He just came in and won that game, and then he got whipped by Clemson, and then lost to LSU. So I just find that kind of funny.
I think that's one of the reasons he didn't want to leave. I think that he wanted to have one that was completely his.
Yeah.
And, but he made the smart choice, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree. He'll be top 5 pick.
I know Aaron don't look at my notes, Aaron, but do either of y'all know the last Alabama quarterback taken in the first round?
Oh Lord.
Has there ever been one?
Yes, I think there's been a couple.
I don't know. They're old.
I would say, gosh, I can't think of his name right now.
I don't know.
When I heard this question, I thought Joe Namath.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But it was actually Richard Todd in 1976. It's taken in the first round.
Yeah,
I think anybody would have gotten that.
Somebody I'd never heard of.
Yeah. So how long has that been? Like 40 years?
When did you say?
Yeah, a long time.
76.
Yeah. Irrelevant.
So Tua is expected to break that drought. We'll see. Seems very likely that he will.
Oh yeah.
Building off that, some other names have declared for the NFL draft from Alabama. Some happened this week. Some happened earlier on. I'm just going to say them all so far. So of course Tua. Then we have Xavier McKinney, the defensive back. Jerry Jeudy, the receiver. With him Henry Ruggs, the third. And then Jedrick Wills Jr., an offensive lineman, have all declared for the draft. But Najee Harris is reportedly told coaches that he will be returning next year for his senior year, which I think is the right decision for him. Yeah.
That's a shocker. He still would have been a first, second round pick in my opinion.
I think he would have been probably mid-late second. But I think him coming back, he's going to be able to build that stock. I think if Tua would have came back, maybe he wouldn't. I think now that with presumably Mac Jones or one of the other quarterbacks.
We all know Bryce Young will be starting.
I don't know. I that would surprise me a little bit.
Would surprise
just
me.
throw true freshmen out there like you do.
But we'll see. I think that he has a good opportunity to really build his stock up. So I don't know. I would have went and got the money, just personally, but I don't blame him at all for coming back. And because he has come back, there are some some speculation that some of our other running backs will transfer out, and Jerome Ford has already entered the transfer portal, and he got a little bit of playing time this past season, but he will be presumably taking his skill somewhere else. How many running backs do you expect to lose, Aaron?
That are in the room right now, or well, I guess will be, because we'll have like 3 or 4 coming in. So I think Jerome Ford was the only 3-star that we had. So
I think that's right.
That's fine with me. But if Najee stays, and then there'll probably be 1 or 2 transfer this year, and then maybe another one after this year if they don't get as much playing time as they want, because that room's pretty crowded right now.
Moving on to Auburn, Arian Sipos, I think that's how you say his name, the punter, he is declared for the NFL draft. That is the second punter this season to declare. And me and Aaron was looking that up earlier. We're like, has any punters been taken in the draft? And I can't remember what the results were. I think there was like some kickers.
We looked up kickers.
Oh, we didn't look up punters?
I didn't look up punters.
Yeah, so maybe that's more frequent than kickers. There's only been 2 kickers ever taken in the draft. And they were both very high draft picks, surprisingly. But anyways, also...
I think when I looked that up, too, it was also... it just showed me the ones that were taken in the first round.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I figured that out later.
Then never mind, scratch that. Nick Coe, defensive tackle, he will be... he's already left. He's going to the NFL draft. And then, like we said last year, Noah, Justin, help me with his last name again.
Igbenogany.
Cornerback. He has declared as well. At Georgia, Jake Fromm has decided to declare for the draft.
Oof.
Yeah, I was I didn't think when I initially heard this, I didn't think it was the right decision until I heard their entire offensive line left too. And I was like,
they're losing, and they're losing his top wide receiver Cager because he's graduating.
Yeah.
And I think they lost a top running back prospect who's transferring signing somewhere else. He's decommitting. So.
Well, on their offensive line, Andrew Thomas, Isaiah Williams, and Solomon McKinley have declared for the draft, as well as Cade Mays. Cade Mays has transferred to the University of Tennessee. He entered the transfer portal, and like 30 minutes later was at Tennessee. It was a quick turnaround. And they all started multiple games over the past 2 seasons, so that's really going to hurt that offensive line.
This is Florida's best chance to win the East this year.
Yeah.
Because I think Georgia's going to go 8-4, 9-3.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they drop a couple or a few games. Cade Mays, who transferred out of Georgia to Tennessee, his father is actually suing Georgia as well because he lost part of his pinky finger.
What?
Yeah, so he lost part of his pinky in a folding chair at a Georgia athletic event, and he's suing both Georgia and the chair company. They're like,
for a folding chair?
Yeah, it's a folding chair. His pinky got trapped
There's
in
no
it,
way.
just like took part of it off.
There's no way he'll win that case.
I don't know. I bet he does. Because
it's his fault he got his finger stuck in there.
Yeah.
What is it? Is he an O-lineman?
Yeah, it was his father that it happened to. It's not.
Oh.
Yeah. It wasn't Cade Mays that lost his finger. It was his father.
Yeah, he ain't winning it.
But for Tennessee, Cade Mays coming back is great news because they're also having Trey Smith, another offensive lineman, return for his senior season. They may have
a decent year.
They may have the best offensive line in the SEC outside of Alabama next year because they have a lot of returning talent.
Heck, Auburn's will be better after we've lost all our seniors. We're still going to be better because they sucked.
Yeah, there's a good chance about that. The Senior Bowl is coming up. There's been a few Alabama and Auburn players that have agreed to play in it. Jared Maiden, Alabama. Raekwon Davis, defensive tackle. Anthony Jennings, linebacker, and Terrell Lewis, linebacker, will all be playing. They will be representing Alabama. And for Auburn, Marlon Davidson, a defensive end, and Prince Tega, a offensive tackle, will be representing Auburn. And Jalen Hurts will also be playing in it for Oklahoma.
Oh, nice.
I think it was Aaron that jokingly asked which helmet he was going to wear because he heard some ESPN guys talk about it.
Yeah, everybody was like, which helmet's he going to wear? Is he going to wear one with two sides on it? Alabama and Oklahoma? No. No, he's not.
He's just going to wear the Oklahoma one.
He's just going to wear Oklahoma.
Why would he wear the Alabama one?
It's kind of stupid.
And on the off chance that he does wear two different ones, okay. But why would he go through that trouble? Why?
Why would he bring two helmets?
Everybody knows he went to Alabama, people. Everybody. He was there for 4 years, I believe. So long enough. Everybody knows. You don't need to brand him anymore.
Well, that's a guy that's going to be branded for the rest of his life.
Just let him be.
I'm interested to see where he ends up in the draft.
I'm going to say third round.
Third round. I was thinking late second.
Late third. Mid-third.
Mid-third. Yeah, so and that's going off pure guessing. I haven't looked at what teams are interested in him. I haven't looked at what teams picking late in the second or mid-third, whatever. But
yeah, just a guess.
Yeah, just complete. Pull it out, yes. But yeah, that's one. This is the. I think I've said this before, but I'm more interested in this draft than I have been in a long time. And because there's a lot of players that I'm just interested to see where they fall out. Mike Leach, the Pirate, goes to Mississippi State, bringing his air raid offense to the SEC. What were your guys' thoughts on this hire?
I thought it was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
The guy's a psycho, and I love
he
it.
is, yeah. The Egg Bowl is going to be an interesting game.
SEC. I don't think he'll be able to do too much, but I like that he's in the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, we just went from a Matt Luke versus Joe Moorhead Egg Bowl to a Mike Leach versus Lane Kiffin Egg Bowl. It's so much better.
So much
Pretty
better.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. The product on the field will be interesting. Like you said, Aaron, I don't expect him to have the success he's had at Washington State or Texas Tech. It's just a more difficult league. But I think he can put together about 8 wins a season on average. And I think that'll be good enough to keep him there. He's such a likable guy. And I think that maybe after this Joe Moorhead fiasco that Mississippi State has realized, hey, we're not winning any championships. Let's just get somebody consistent and fun that gets somebody excited about the program. Hopefully that's what they've came to realize. And I think he can pull off some upsets pretty regularly there as well. Who do you guys think stays in the state of Mississippi longer? Mike Leach or Lane Kiffin?
Leach, easily.
I think probably Kiffin, just because he has I don't know. He has a way of getting these jobs in the first place. I think he's just...
Kiffin's just unpredictable.
I think because he has a way of getting those jobs is why he will leave. I think Mike Leach is content with the Mississippi State, but I think Lane Kiffin has bigger aspirations. I think he wants to win a championship, and he knows he can't do that at Ole Miss.
I think they're both going to do about the same, and then Mike Leach would still get fired before Lane Kiffin does.
Just because of the Joe Moorhead thing?
I just feel Lane Kiffin has got his way of talking his way out of stuff that he shouldn't be able to talk his way out of.
He's not good at talking his way out of getting fired.
Yeah.
I've seen that in the past.
Well, I'm not talking about Nick Saban.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about USC, the Raiders.
The fact that he got those chances in the first place, he's got to have some slimy way of getting them.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it seems like people get tired of him real quick outside of FAU.
Well, I don't know why they hired him in the first place.
I think it'll be Leach. I at least hope it'll be Leach. I really like him. I think he's going to have some trouble with that air raid offense. He's going to have to get a really good offensive line. He's going to have to find the perfect quarterback. And it's not necessarily easy to recruit there. I mean, it's easier to recruit there than, say, Washington State, but I don't know that it's easier than Texas Tech with all the athletes you have in that state. The good thing is he's going to have a lot more facilities, a lot more resources to try to bring some guys in. It always helps to be in the SEC. And so, yeah, maybe he'll do all right. I'm interested to see how he does, but I'm excited for all the quotes. His press conference a couple days ago was awesome.
Gold.
And he's gonna have to get some really good receivers. But I didn't realize this. A.J. Brown actually went to Starkville High School. So maybe there's a little bit of talent in Mississippi.
Oh yeah,
that
there's
you
some
can pull
talent
out
in
of there.
Mississippi. Yeah.
Yeah. With all the coaches we have in the SEC now, from Saban to Malzahn to the new Mississippi coaches, and then Ed Orgeron, Jimbo Fisher, Dan Mullen, Kirby Smart, is this the most fun coaching class ever in the SEC?
Pretty close to it, if it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. It's definitely the most fun we've seen in our lifetime.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty stacked right now.
Yeah, I love it. I can't wait for next season, and we haven't even get to the national championship this year. Switching gears to the NFL, the Titans have upset both the Patriots and the Ravens since the last time we talked.
Yeah, that was quite unexpected.
Yeah.
Well,
I was wanting the Ravens to go all the way, but now I guess I'm pulling for the Titans. I'm not a Titan fan, but I just like that they were projected to get what was it, Aaron? 3-13. Is what you said.
One guy on ESPN, I cannot remember his name, but at the beginning of in preseason, he predicted them to go 3-13.
Yeah.
This season.
And now they're going to the conference championship. So.
Yeah.
But
I'd
I
love to
saw
see them pull it off.
the past 8 games, Derrick Henry's run for like 1,200 yards.
Are they in the
He's had
AFC? AFC divisional? Is that what they're playing in?
Yeah, I think so. Hold on, I gotta pull it up.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah, they're in the AFC divisional game.
Yeah.
So they made it to
pretty well.
their weight. Yeah, so they play the winner of Chiefs and Texans.
Yeah, so those games have not happened. They'll happen today. Obviously, you may be hearing this after that, but just out of the teams we have left, that's the 49ers, the Titans, Texas Chiefs, Seahawks, Packers. Who is your favorite to win it all?
It's definitely the Chiefs now. They've gotten a lot better on defense, and they still have that same firepower on the offense. So I think now with the Ravens out of it, they have the best chance of winning it all.
What do you think, Aaron?
I think the 49ers probably got the best chance. They do have to get past the Seahawks, I believe, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know my NFL.
Yeah,
divisions
Seahawks and
very
Packers
well,
play
but,
today.
Yeah, I believe every time them and the Seahawks played this season, it was like a 3-point differential, and one was overtime. So, I believe that's right, and they play each other very tough. So, if they can get past the Seahawks, I think the 49ers probably got the best chance, in my opinion.
I think it's between those two. I wouldn't be surprised if it went either way. I like the Chiefs. I like the 49ers too. So, yeah, I guess I'm rooting for the Titans now just because I love a good underdog story. It's really the only reason, and because I'm a big Derrick Henry fan. He's been a phenomenal.
He's a monster.
Yeah. So let's go. We've been doing the Capital One Bowl Mania. I haven't given an update on this recently, but since we only have one game left, I thought we would. The Saucy Lamb Fan Club, all of us have a group. It's not too late to join if you've already made picks earlier this season. Say if you were in a different group, you can still go in and join the group with that entry. Right now, it's tied for number 1. Me and Aaron. Northosaurus in Texas is back. Right below us, tied for 3, which actually be second, is Jones, and Roll Tide anyway. 5th would be 4th or 3rd, I guess. ESPN Fan 411 and Jay Bird. What happened, Justin? You've missed a few. What's going on, man?
I lost by like 3 points. What's the big deal?
Yeah, you're only down by 2.
Yeah.
Wesley's Booby Trap LLC.com is right behind you with 25 points. ESPN 3091 is in 8th with 24 points, and ESPN Fan 9901 has 23rd points to round out the bottom there. So, Aaron, we're gonna have to make different picks on this national championship.
We'll have to.
We're gonna have to do.
I can just get closer on the
tiebreaker.
tiebreaker.
Yeah, the tiebreaker. That's what we'll do. I don't want to pick Clemson. I don't know if that's what you're doing, but I really don't want to pick. Anyway, that is everything for news. So that was
going way back to when we were first talking about the Alabama running backs. I found a tweet. I don't know if this is completely accurate, but surely it's pretty close. It says So you'll have Najee Harris, which is a 5-star. Brian Robinson, a 4-star. Trey Sanders, a 5-star. Jerome Ford, a 3-star.
Transferred.
Keelan Robinson, a 4-star. Roydell Williams, a 4-star. Kyle Edwards, a 4-star. And Jace McClellan, a 4-star. All in the same running back room in the spring, except for Jerome Ford, apparently. But
You're going to have
he's the only
about
3-star.
3 or 4 guys gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
You got to watch a lot of Roydell Williams this year, Aaron.
Yep.
How would you grade his performances so far? What do you expect to see out of him?
He's pretty good. He was a little banged up for most of the time I got to see him, but he's pretty good. He's a 4-star for a reason. I don't know how well it will transfer to the next level. That was kind of my concern, but because I haven't been around many D1 running backs in my day, so I don't know what to expect at the next level. But he's one heck of a high school football player, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, Aaron, why don't you go ahead and kick off Twitter news for us? You went ahead and gave us a little preview. How about you give us the full entree?
Okie dokie.
Twitter news.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
It really doesn't matter what you think.
You play to win the game. You play to win the game.
Don't worry, I'll just click on the wrong thing.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll drag the silence out as long as possible. Cecil Hurt tweeted 10 years ago today, which was 3 days ago or something
The
like
7th.
that. On the 7th. Said 10 years ago today, Alabama beat Texas and Pasadena for the BCS national title. Joe Judge was a special teams assistant to Bobby Williams, the special teams coach at Alabama that day. Life moves fast.
Wow, that's about hard to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that was 10 years ago also.
Yeah, he wasn't even special teams coach. He was the assistant to the special team coach.
Wow. Well, good for him. He moved up quick.
Yeah.
Mississippi State was reportedly linked to both Steve Sarkisian and Todd Grantham before hiring Mike Leach. That's like trying to decide between 2 different kinds of vanilla ice cream and then buying a grenade launcher.
It's an amazing analogy.
Butch Jones was asked if he was interested in the Washington State opening. He replied, "Absolutely. It would be an honor to coach in our nation's capital."
Oh,
I don't know if
gosh.
that's true, but boy, is
I
that
really
funny.
hope it's not.
Oh, and so many of these coaches, if they went to college, they were history teachers too. He needs to take some geography classes, I guess.
Jeez.
That one made me rub the bridge of my nose right there. That's great.
Jake Fromm will be drafted in the first round of the NFL draft in April. Don't overthink it. He's good enough, and he will wow GMs and coaches at the combine. He's going in the first round.
Yeah, okay.
And that
What do you
was
think
who,
about
who
that one?
said that?
That was Mark Zeno?
Zeno, yeah.
Yeah, tell him he's
well,
an idiot.
He tagged Old Texas Exposed, so
Yeah, I imagine we're going to be bringing this one up again in a later Twitter news.
yeah,
I wanted
the end of
y'all's
April.
opinion on that. So.
yeah, so absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
he's going in the first round.
No, he's
No,
not.
he's definitely not.
So I think we already touched on this a little bit, but source Georgia offensive lineman Cade Mays has entered the transfer portal, former 5-star recruit. And then somebody retweeted and said that Georgia 2018 recruiting class that was supposed to propel them to a national championship, this is the 3rd former 5-star and 5th former top ESPN 100 player from that class to transfer.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's insane. Yeah, there's something going on at Georgia. Even Kirby Smart has mentioned it straight on. He said there's a disease going on in the locker room. I don't know what it is, but those guys are just wanting out of there.
So Chris, we have Mike Leach versus Lane Kiffin because Elijah Moore pretended to pee like a dog and a lot of people got fired. What a sport. College football remains undefeated. Someone retweeted.
That was Ryan Brown that retweeted that one. Jocks. That's crazy if you think about those events, the way they happened.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, that was a strong Twitter news. Thank you, Aaron.
Very good.
Well, Justin, how about we go ahead and we talk about this national championship game coming up? Just to lay some context on the whole thing.
Alrighty.
Give me a second to get to my page here. LSU is a 5.5 point favorite. Would you guys say that's pretty fair?
Probably.
Yeah, I'd say it's fair.
ESPN matchup predictor has Clemson as a 55.8%. They have a 55.8% chance to win it. That's what ESPN matchup predictor says.
I mean, I think it could go either way by 5 points.
I do too.
55%,
Yeah.
So I don't really get how they make these.
Yeah, I don't know what all
either.
goes into the matchup predictor. I would say, since it's basically a home game for LSU.
I would say LSU would have, and usually they factor that in tremendously, but I guess not.
Well, these teams look a little more similar than you might have realized. I'm gonna go through the team stats, a few of them real quick. Points per game: LSU 48.9, Clemson 45.3. So that's really close. Of course, LSU has played some much tougher competition. Points allowed per game: Clemson 10.6, LSU 21.2. So Clemson holds. They're winning that battle. But of course, like I said, easier opponents. Total yards for Clemson 538.4, for LSU 564.1. Passing yards 292.2 for Clemson, 397.2 for LSU. But Clemson makes up for it in rushing yards, 246 yards rushing, 166 for LSU. And then yards allowed, Clemson 244.7 yards allowed, LSU 341.3. So these are two pretty close teams. There's a little differences here and there, especially on the defensive side of things. But how do you guys expect these offenses to perform Monday night?
I think they'll both do very well. I don't think LSU's offense will struggle against Clemson's defense. I think they'll do what they need to do, and then that's why I think this game will be so close, is because Clemson's offense is going to have a good game as well. So it'll be, I think both teams will score in the 30s, and I think it'll go either way because I can't count Clemson out just with what they've done these past two seasons. And I mean, if they were to win this game and beat LSU, I could care less who they play during the regular season because apparently it doesn't matter because they're still finding ways to win these big games. So I think it'll be an interesting game.
Aaron, what do you think?
Yeah, it's I don't really know how it's going to play out. It's either going to be a shootout, but the last couple times we've had what we thought would be a shootout, it turned out to be a very good game, and LSU's defense is getting better, and Clemson's been pretty good with Venables, so I could easily see it, even with these offenses still being kind of low scoring. I mean, it won't be very low scoring at all, but I could see it taking a while to get to the 20s and the low 30s, and it staying like right around there. I know that's crazy to me to say that's low scoring, but I don't think it's just going to be a shootout where it's 30-something to something at halftime. Could easily be.
No.
But, I just don't. I think it'll take a while before it gets up to that. I think it'll be late fourth quarter. People just going back and forth before it hits the 30 mark.
No, I agree. I think that
If it gets that high.
I wouldn't be surprised if it looks a little bit like Clemson, Ohio State on scoreboard wise.
Yeah.
By the end of it, and Vegas kind of agrees with that. The over/under is 69 points total. So, I mean that's around 30, 35 points each. So
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I could see it like being 14-10 at half, and then they kind of get stuff going in the second half.
Yeah, I don't see either one scoring 40 unless they are
Yeah, I
gonna
don't-
win
yeah.
by 10 or more, if that makes sense. Like, they're going to have to win handedly to get to 40.
Yeah.
Well, who do you think is the better quarterback in this game, Trevor Lawrence or Joe Burrow? I can give some of their season stats real quick. Trevor Lawrence is 250 of 370, 3,431 yards, 36 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Joe Burrow, 371 of 478, 5,208 yards, 55 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
I mean, this year it's Joe Burrow, hands down.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that still think that it is Trevor Lawrence. I guess he's more proven career-wise. He's done this for 2 years now, where Joe Burrow didn't look impressive at all his past, last year at LSU.
That's
this year he's phenomenal. He's
Yeah.
super accurate, and that's his strongest thing to me is his accuracy. But I don't know that I'm ready to say he's easily the better quarterback.
Yeah, I think what worries me about Burrow is just, what kind of offense he'll be put in the NFL, because this offense has just worked perfectly for him at LSU with Brady coming in. So you see what difference that's made for him. So I'm kind of interested to see in a new offense once he gets into the NFL, how is that going to translate? Is he going to be the same quarterback, or is he going to be the quarterback last year where nobody was like, oh, he's going to throw for 55 touchdowns this year? So I think if we're going to look at overall in the next, 5 to 10 years, it would definitely be Trevor Lawrence.
I think I'm leaning that way as well. I don't know how Trevor Lawrence does. I know he's going to be accurate wherever he goes, but I don't know how electric he is anywhere else. Not anywhere else, but in a different offense. Now, I don't think he's going to be put in a very different offense. I think he's going to be put in something he's pretty comfortable with.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to think about.
That's why I said this year Joe Burrow is the best.
Joe Burrow's had a better season this
Because
year.
over time, I think Trevor Lawrence will definitely be the better quarterback. But right now, Joe Burrow is the best quarterback.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Joe Burrow has had a better season by far. I mean, this is probably the best single season we've ever seen a quarterback have. I mean, right outside of maybe Cam Newton. And I would say, this rivals that, if not, takes it to the next level. I still think that what Cam Newton did at Auburn is more impressive, just seeing how that team struggled without him the next year. There's other pieces they were missing.
Yeah, you know how Henry put the Titans on his back
I don't like
last
that.
night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cam Newton did that every game for an entire season.
Yeah.
But you could make the argument that this LSU team wouldn't have been nearly as dominant without Joe Burrow.
They wouldn't have been dominant, but they could easily have still managed to win all their games.
That's true, just because of all that talent they have,
Yeah.
I think it's easily the best single season for a passing quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Cam Newton's strength was running the ball, scrambling. He was a great passer, but he was just so versatile. That was his strength in a time that there wasn't that many versatile quarterbacks as there is today.
And just the way he was built, too, I think just made it. But I think with I totally forgot what I was going to say. Never mind.
Noise.
That's okay. If you think about it, you can let us know. But
I'll let you know.
Before we give our score predictions, you hit us up with a little Knight Needs to Know.
Knight needs to know. Probably with some of the stuff you've done before, I probably wouldn't be surprised.
You wouldn't be surprised if I put ashes in cookies and fed them to you?
Yeah, because it was someday for the SEC again.
That might make sense then. I guess just
How does
back
that make
during
sense?
that time.
Yeah, I would like to know how it makes sense.
Now this is looking like a bad idea.
All right. So, with my first question, with Tua declaring for the draft, where do you think...
Prepared today.
You're right. I know. Good job, Justin.
Well, thank you.
Did you think of these ahead of time?
I did.
Whoa, he's putting in some effort.
What a concept.
Yeah, right before the show started.
Nice.
I can think of these things in my head. I'm a smart boy.
You are a smart boy.
So where do y'all think Tua will go in the draft? Do you think he'll still go top 5 like to the Dolphins, or do you think he's going to fall with his injury?
I think he's going to go, well, let me preface with this. It's going to depend largely on what happens with that injury from now to then. Like, we're going to have to hear from doctors. Every NFL team is going to have their own doctors at the combines. That's all the combine's going to be for him is check
That's true.
backs.
Yeah,
It's just
because he
gonna
won't be able
He's
to.
going to be prodded with by every single NFL team. They're all going to check him out and give their own analysis of him. But if we're saying best case scenario that he is where he thinks he will be by the draft, I think he will go to the Dolphins in the top 5.
Yeah.
Now, if it's not, I can easily see the Dolphins circling back around and trying to pick him up later, or somebody else scooping him up late first round.
Maybe like the Panthers' 9th pick.
Yeah, possibly. So, but I think he goes first round regardless.
Yeah.
He's going first round. I'm not sold that he's going at 5, and the only reason is Miami has 3 first round picks, and I am sold that he's going either to Miami or to San Diego. I will say that.
Yeah.
And I
You mean
think
LA?
Miami's 5, San Diego 6. So if Miami passes on him at 5, then I think they'll get him with their next pick, as long as San Diego doesn't get him. So that's a risk that Miami's has to be willing to take. But I think he's going either at 5 or 6, and if he doesn't go at either one, then he's definitely going to Miami in their next pick, which I think is like 18.
Yeah.
So as long as nobody else trades up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with the LA Chargers, Phillip Rivers, this is probably his last season. So, yeah, they're going to need a quarterback. So, yeah, I could see him definitely going there, too. All right, next question. So, who do you think will win the first Egg Bowl between Mike Leach and Lane Kiffin?
Oh, that's going to be so interesting. I'm going to just say, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say Lane Kiffin. You know what? No, I'm going to say Mississippi State. I feel like they're going to have more weapons coming back than Ole Miss. So yeah, I'm going to say Mississippi State. It'll be a close one, but I think that Leach will pull it out.
If it was anyone else, I'd probably say Mississippi State, and just because I don't think they would have as big of a transform. Wait, what am I trying to say?
Transformation.
Yeah, they won't have as big of a transformation on the offensive side of the ball. Where when Mike Leach comes in, it's going to be a lot of people trying to learn something that they're not used to. Granted, they'll go through a whole season at that point, but I'll probably still give it to Lane Kiffin just because I think it'll be not next year, but the year after, before everybody at Mississippi State catches up to what Mike Leach is trying to do.
You know what? I think you're right on that, actually, because even if all those guys do know the air raid offense, he's not going to have his pieces in place in that offense. So yeah, I think I turn back to Lane Kiffin. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kiffin.
That's the
All
only
right,
reason, though.
Yeah,
If
because
it was anybody else, I would say Mississippi State, because they have all the momentum right now. They have more people. I think they have the better team returning, and they have 2 in a row wins right now, I think. So.
yeah, the problem with Mississippi State with them implementing the air raid offense is they don't have a passing quarterback.
Yeah.
So
They're gonna
I don't
need
know.
Some
Yeah.
talented receivers as well. So
Yeah. So we'll see. All right, final question. Okay, here it is. Wait, it's slipping my mind.
anticipation
Okay, here it
is
is.
killing me.
Yeah, here it is. Sorry. So with Georgia and Kirby Smart losing a lot of players, a lot of people transferring, if they have a bad season this year, do you think he'll be on the hot seat?
No, I don't think he'll be on the hot seat off one bad season. I think it would take 2 in a close, not necessarily back to back, but 2 in maybe a 5-year period. And by bad season, I mean like 5 losses.
Yeah, say they go 8-5 this season.
I think it'd have to happen twice in a 5-year period for him to be on
Okay.
the hot seat, and even then, I don't think he's fired. I just think his seat's a little warm. He's not comfortable.
I think it's going to take him the same amount of time that it took Mark Richt before they get tired of
Yeah.
above average and not actually doing anything with it.
I don't know what's
because,
going on.
Mark Richt, if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure he has a better record at Georgia right now.
At this
That's
point
true.
in their
Yeah, at
Yeah.
this point in their career that he has a better record. So
if you go back to,
I don't remember every detail about his
it was like one
career
more
there,
win.
so.
Yeah, it was pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to take the same amount of time, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on with that culture there. Like you said, like Kirby literally said in a press conference, there's a disease in that locker room. I don't know what it is. I don't know why all these guys are transferring, why nobody wants to play there. It's weird. It's good.
A lot
It's
of
very
people want to
concerning.
play there, just nobody wants to stay. Apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's what I meant. So so I don't know what is going on, but it'll be interesting to see how they do this next season. Did I say in the news that they picked up that new quarterback? I think I actually forgot to.
Jamie Newman, I believe.
Yeah,
his
so
name
I have it
from
in my
Wake
notes.
Forest.
I think I forgot to say it, but yeah, they landed Wake Forest Jamie Newman as the quarterback. So
That's
he's going to try
interesting.
to fill in for the spot for Jake Fromm.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that time they had Justin Fields?
Yeah, I do remember that, and I bet.
Yeah, who
Kirby
only
remembers it,
threw 3 interceptions this season?
Yeah.
And 41 touchdowns, I think.
too. Yeah, so
Interesting.
that was the biggest mistake of his career.
He also
but-
ran for what, like 10 plus touchdowns as well? That's interesting.
It is interesting. So
He's
I don't
also
know.
a Heisman finalist.
He was.
Yeah.
And a strong one. I mean, he wasn't gonna win it, but he was. He was there.
Still
He's
there.
gonna win it before Jake Fromm won it.
Yeah, and if there was the draft this year, he'd be going before Jake Fromm too, if he was eligible. So yeah, that's.
Yeah, talking about this draft class, I think next year's QB draft class is going to be pretty good.
I think that factored into Tua's decision heavily.
Yeah, it did.
All right, is that all for Night Needs to Know, Justin?
That is all I need to know.
Well, thank you very much. That was a very good prepared segment. I appreciate
Well,
it.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
anytime.
welcome.
Well, let's go ahead and do what we do best, and by best I mean worst, and give our predictions for this national championship
I'd
game.
say I haven't been too bad this season.
No, you've actually been very good.
Well, thank you.
You keep the scores right around what they're supposed to be. I don't know that you've picked a loss yet. You may have
I don't
gotten
know.
one.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and see. I'll have that information.
Yeah,
for
I think
next week.
I picked Auburn over Florida when they lost that game. So
Okay. Well, Justin, since you're the champ, do you want to kick us off with your prediction?
Ooh, it's kind of hard for me where I want to go in this game because LSU's, of course, undoubtedly been the best team this season. But then it's just so hard when you have a Clemson team that's won 29 straight now. And, oh gosh, I'm going to go Clemson 35, LSU 34.
So you got Clemson with the win.
I do. I think Clemson is going to find a way to win.
All right. Well, that is an interesting pick. I'm going to say LSU 31-24.
Seriously?
I don't feel comfortable with that, but I feel like LSU is going to come to play, and I feel like I think Clemson will too, but I think LSU is going to get a LSU is going to get a touchdown late to make the score look worse.
The reason I said seriously because that was the exact score.
Is it?
Yeah,
we can
I
put
had
it. We can go with it.
No,
Okay.
I'm changing mine. That was the exact score I had in my mind, so that's very strange. Okay. Wow, I was not expecting that. I'm going to go 27 for Clemson,
Okay.
and then I'll do. I'll do 34 for LSU.
Okay. 34-27.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've got those logged down. That's funny that we have the same pick because earlier this week we went to the movies and we were at 2 different locations looking at movie seats, and there was a lot of seats available.
Yeah.
And I texted them and I said I can't remember what the seat was, but I was like F7, F6, F7, and at the same time I got a text that said F6, F7. So we're sharing a brain this week or something. But all right. So Justin, 35-34 Clemson. Me, 31-24 LSU. Aaron, 34-27 LSU. So we will see how that all ends up.
See how that turns out.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Justin, are you doing anything for the game?
Oh, we'll probably fix some jambalaya, some good food ready for the game. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Like I said, I think it'll be a fantastic game, and I think both quarterbacks will have a great game. And like I said, I think Clemson will win it late.
Well, you don't have to invite us over if you don't want to. That's fine.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on it because I don't want y'all eating my food. So
that's fair, I guess. So yeah, that'll be a fun one to do. Our next episode, where we will review this game, will come out next Saturday, obviously. So there'll be some time between then, but we just didn't want to do it another episode this close to this one.
yeah.
So we're gonna do that. We're gonna have that next week. Next week will be a shorter episode, and then the week following is gonna be our big award show, the TG Emmys, as I've dubbed it. So
I wish you wouldn't have.
yeah, well that
That sounds a little weird.
So that's what it's gonna be, and I've got some good awards coming up, some nominations that we're all gonna vote on, and then Aaron and Justin are both gonna come up with 3 awards on their own. They're gonna give to someone. So.
Alrighty.
Laughing at our, we just got a puppy here, the Sipsy house, and he was literally sleeping on his back, but now he just woke up. I was laughing at him. Anyway, guys, how about some mismanagers?
Yeah.
Did you grab anything when you walked out the door?
Grab nothing but 2 Tortino's pizza out of the refrigerator and my doggy, and we left.
I just kept hearing it. I'm ducking and everything. Died in the house. I got scared. I dropped my hot pocket.
Here's an actual customer out here. What's the best kind of firework to buy?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
And now, it's time for Mismanagers.
Well, let's start out with this one from UPI.com. First off, before I read this one aloud, can you guys tell me what you picture your wedding will look like one day?
What?
If you get married. Where, like the location, where would you want, if you could pick anywhere in the world to get married, where would you get married at?
Gosh, I don't know. I guess somewhere in the mountains.
Okay,
With,
mountains, get nice scenery, a beautiful view.
Yeah, nice snow in the back, somewhere like that.
A beach.
The beach, that's a beautiful view as well. Warm weather, nice, right there by the water. This couple got married in a Bass Pro Shop in Tennessee.
Roll Tide.
So this article comes from UPI.com. A couple celebrated their love for each other and their fondness for a favorite outdoor goods store by holding their wedding at a Bass Pro Shop store in Tennessee. The shop in Kodak shared photos on Facebook from the wedding of customers Lonnie and Pam. The photos show the pair holding their wedding ceremony next to the large aquarium and the store's trophy fishing section. Before I go further, have you guys ever went on YouTube and watched the videos of people running and jumping in the aquarium at Bass Pro Shop?
It's quite funny.
It's hilarious. They just get up on the balcony, jump down into the aquariums. They all have the aquariums.
What makes it so funny is them trying to get out, and then when they get out, immediately sprinting for the door. Soaking wet.
And the security guards know what happens, so they're just chasing them out of the store. If you haven't ever, just go on YouTube and look up Bass Pro Shop aquarium diving. It's so funny. There's so many videos of it too. Anyways, back to this. This is a quote. Here at Bass Pro Shop, we will sell you a boat, a gun, even some clothes. Shoot, you might as well even get married here, the post said. The newlyweds said they met as teenagers, but only started dating recently when they reconnected on Facebook. I asked her out on a date 37 years ago, and she told me no. It took me 37 years to get her to say yes, Lonnie Harris told WVLT TV.
Oh, gosh.
Pam Harris said she works at the Bass Pro Shop's location and wanted her coworkers to be able to attend her wedding. The manager of the location said the store previously hosted a wedding about 7 years ago, so this is not the first time at this location that somebody's gotten married at Bass Pro Shop.
It's not the first time?
No.
Okay.
I just don't understand.
It's Tennessee for you.
Yeah, it is.
Here's one that's a little bit more alarming. Guys, there's a... Sports, especially here in the Southeast, are intense, right? We can get mad at each other. We can sometimes in-laws get in fights over games and stuff. But this game left 16 dead and 5 wounded. And it was
Wait, what happened?
It's a Mexican prison ball over soccer. It was a soccer game.
Gosh.
16 inmates were killed at Mexico prison this week after a dispute over a soccer game escalated into a full-scale riot, reports say. The melee, which took place Tuesday afternoon in central Mexico, lasted nearly 3 hours before security could get the situation under control. Those who died suffered gunshots or stab wounds or were beaten with objects.
Gunshots?
Yeah. So they were playing soccer and guys started pulling out Glocks.
What?
5 others were wounded. Cambros told local press.
Oh, they were actually playing the soccer.
Yes, they were playing.
They were watching a soccer.
They were playing soccer and started shooting each other.
Oh, dang.
So, red flag. Get them out.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a Mexican prison, but my gosh, they're just throwing out. I mean, they're carrying Glocks all over the place. What in the world?
He told the local press that in the aftermath, authorities confiscated 4 guns that they believe were introduced to the facility during prison visits earlier that day, including one that was still in an inmate's possession.
If it was that day, then that almost sounds planned.
He added that the prison had been searched for weapons over the weekend and no guns were found. The brawl erupted over a dispute involving a soccer game. A soccer game. Sky News reported, citing local media. No guards or police were wounded in the violence. That is what sounds fishy to me. Yeah. Is that none of the prison guards, 16 are dead, 5 are injured, and not a single guard or police were wounded?
Well, you see, what they did, I mean, I guess you probably can't blame them at this point. They just start brawling, and then if you're a guard, you're like, hey, I'm not getting myself involved in this. I don't want to die.
I guess, but it is their job. So,
I mean, yeah, but it's a Mexican prison.
Yeah.
So the stuff that probably goes on there.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
An investigation has now been launched into how the weapons got inside the prison, Sky News added. Mexico has a long history of deadly prison clashes. In October, 6 inmates were killed in a prison in Morelos State. In September, Nuevo Leon State closed the infamous Topo Chico prison, the site of many murders over the years. In February 2016, 49 prisoners died there during rioting when 2 factions of the Zetas cartel clashed. Which I believe it was the Zetas involved in this shoot up as well, which I thought was hilarious because it sounds like a girls' sorority. We're the Zetas.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. If any of you are out there, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love
No, we challenge you to a soccer game if you're out there. We challenge the Zeta cartel to a soccer game 3-on-3.
we don't.
But no guns allowed.
Yeah, we really don't. You're gonna get it.
Yeah, no guns allowed.
Yeah, it's a friendly match.
Y'all gonna get us killed.
Guns in prison, but
yeah. Okay. Well,
y'all gonna get us killed.
You're playing. You're a forward.
I'm not playing.
Yes, you are.
No.
Is a forward soccer? I know it's basketball. I think it's soccer too. You're a forward, regardless. All right.
I'm not dying.
All right, and here's the weirdest one of the week. Y'all may have heard this one by now. This comes from NewYorkPost.com. Aaron just read it on my computer.
Oh, gosh.
Florida man wakes up to burglar sucking on his toes. Have either of y'all heard this yet?
No. Can you imagine waking up to somebody sucking on your toes? And especially, you've seen my toes.
Just imagine going to work the next day, and the guy and your coworker being like, "Hey, man, you had some sleep last night." Like,
he wouldn't be able.
Boy, I got a story for you.
It's like I was having.
Is in a mental institution for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
It doesn't
like,
matter
can you imagine
what that guy stole. He's not missing it, except for his dignity and will to live. That's
can
the
you
only
imagine
things that he's missing?
Having a dream
in a mental institution right now. You can't recover from that.
I also want to point out that this happened on Christmas Eve. This is like Santa breaking into your house and sucking on your toes.
Okay. Well, I don't know why you had to put that image in there.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It's just a burglar. I don't know why you had to turn it around on
Christmas
a nice.
Y'all know how you have those dreams where like your alarm clock's going off in your dream, you wake up, your alarm clock's going off?
Yeah.
Could you imagine like he's having a dream and he's kind of hearing the sucking sound, and he wakes up and there's somebody sucking on his toes?
I feel like.
I mean, what a
you imagine
nightmare.
this. Or you dream this.
I hope I wouldn't dream this.
A snoozing Florida man, of course, a Florida man, received a very rude awakening on Christmas Eve from a creepy burglar sucking on his toes. The startled Bradenton resident then asked the sicko what he was doing, to which the stranger replied that he, quote, was there to suck on toes.
Oh my gosh.
That was the Bradenton Herald reported. Police say a fight then erupted, and the suspect tried to grab the man's genitals and even threatened that he had a gun. No weapon was ever displayed, according to the cops. The victim managed to boot the intruder out of his home, but the criminal then bashed a window to the residence and wrecked the victim's car windshield before fleeing the scene.
Gosh.
Authorities took DNA swabs from the victim's toes in order to track down the weirdo. Imagine just waking up at 3 a.m., a guy sucking on your toes. You're like, hey, what you doing there? And he's like, oh, just
That's how you react. Oh, hey, buddy, how's it going? What you doing there?
Toes. I'm like, oh, well, could you not? And he goes outside and busts your windshield.
Jeez, I would start swinging right when I'd wake up. Someone's sucking on my toes.
I was thinking the first thing I'd do would kick.
Yeah.
At your toe, like.
Well, then I'm afraid he might bite it.
Go down his throat.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't mean while my toe was in his mouth, you freaking psycho.
Yeah, and then he throws up everywhere.
Thinking way too much into this.
This story just fascinated me. I couldn't believe it when I read it.
It's fascinating.
It's terrible.
Poor man literally lost all will to live.
A DNA swab from his toes.
Oh gosh.
Oh, we got to interview this guy.
How are you in here? How'd you get in here? Oh, well, you won't believe this. I got caught sucking on a guy's toes.
God, you don't want to be in a cell with that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they'd probably they'd just beat on him right there.
Ugh, God. Well, that's old Jimmy Toesucker. Jeez, that's
oh Lord.
Anyways, Florida men, you know how they go.
Florida, yeah.
Well, that I believe concludes the episode. Justin, would you like to wrap it up for us?
I sure would. Thank you to all who have listened to the show. I hope you're having a great start to the new year. I hope work's going well, or if you're in school, school's going well. Thank you for spending your time listening to our show. I know you might not listen to the whole thing, but thank you for at least listening to a little bit of it.
They just turned it off.
They just turned it on.
Yeah, they probably just turned it off.
No, they literally was like, okay, Justin's talking to the outro.
Yeah, golly. This is another 10 minutes. All right, who's the sponsors for our show?
No sponsor this week, or probably
no
the next
sponsors.
few weeks, because I haven't had time to go out on the streets, like I said last week, and and sell some ads. So don't worry about any sponsors till I tell you.
Yeah. Well, thank you to our future sponsors that we will have. Our website is thegamemanagers.com, where you can easily access this podcast right here. You just click on it and it plays right away. You don't have to go to Spotify and make an account, do all that baloney. You can just go right to the website and say, there you go. I can listen to this podcast on the road. I can listen to it in my house when I'm about to sleep. I mean, things like that.
They want to listen to us to go to sleep. We put them to sleep with our toe-sucking intruder in the middle of the night stories.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe not that part, but maybe before. Yeah, sure. You can find us on social media at TGM Pod on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We post most of our stuff to Facebook. It's a great page. You can write a review for us on there. You can like the page. You can send us messages asking, like, when's the next giveaway, when are we doing trivia again, or when's this happening, yada yada. Great things you can find on there. You can also find us on YouTube. That's another easy way to listen to the podcast. Unless you want to make a YouTube account, just go to the website.
Also, I want to put it in really quick. We're probably going to start back the trivia in the off season.
Okay, there we go. You're welcome.
Material. And then also, speaking of leaving us reviews, if you listen on the iTunes app or on Spotify or Google Play, leave us a review on there too. Preferably 5 stars, but if you don't want to do that, that's okay.
Yeah.
But that really helps us if you leave it on those apps.
Thank you for that. Then you can also email us at thegamemanagerspod@gmail.com. Send us any questions you have, or you just want to shout us out, or just tell us you love us and that you want a signed picture of us. We would gladly do that.
We would.
Yeah. We're on Patreon. We had some game reviews on there, just us messing around. Very funny. If you want to check that out, and we would greatly appreciate it. And then you should subscribe. I mean, we're always posting stuff, some interesting stories. I mean, listen to these interesting stories we just had. I mean, those were crazy. If you just want some crazy stories and you don't give a rat's butt about sports, then you can come and just listen to Mismanagers. Great stories. Leave a nice review. Like I said, we would love a 5-star, but if you want to leave a 1-star, I totally understand. And then we have shirts at TeePublic. Like I said, Nick's gotten some of them. Softest shirts I've ever felt in my life. They're beautiful. So you should get some, and then always be on the lookout for giveaways.
Justin's
you never know, you might win a...
Justin's always stealing mine. He'll come over to my house. We'll raid my closet of my
wake you up sucking on your toes.
Yeah, he'll
just,
get in my clothes.
He'll just lean up and he has all your clothes on.
Yeah, every shirt on at once. It's like 60.
Yeah,
all 62 of
nice.
my Game Manager podcast shirts.
Yeah. I mean, it gets kind of heavy and it gets kind of hot, but I mean, it's soft. It's nice. And always check out for giveaways, like I was saying. I mean, you can get a nice, maybe a nice shirt or a scary mask that we did for Halloween with an elephant or obby on. I mean, cool things like that. You never know. So just be on the lookout. And that is all I have to say.
All right.
Now, do y'all have any last words for the show?
I do have some last words. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and we will see you next week to review the National Championship. Looking forward to it.
All right,
Adios.
Aaron. All right, War Eagle anyways, guys.